could you start by saying my name is and tell me your name and position?
My name is Jerome Adams, and I am the 20th United States Surgeon General.
Great. Thank you so much for being here today. I wonder if you could tell me about your motto as Surgeon General and whether the National Forum, how it's an example of the kind of partnership that you're talking about.
Well, my motto as United States Surgeon General is better health through better partnerships. Einstein said the definition of insanity was doing the same thing and expecting a different result. We have to change the way that we're talking about health and always, always, always be grounded in the health outcomes, but move beyond a discussion about health outcomes, show the business community, the law enforcement community, the educational community, how we can help them achieve their goals and their outcomes. It's one of the reasons why I'm so glad to be here today, the theme of the meeting being Path to Engagement. I think better partnerships is the key to better engagement and to lifting up the message that ultimately will lead to better health outcomes.
That's great. You know, one of the things that happened today is that a report came out showing, as I'm sure you are aware, the rates of for heart disease and stroke, they've kind of leveled off, not in a way that we'd like. And I wonder from your perspective, how can we move that needle? How can we work together and use a forum like the National Forum to make a difference?
Well, I think one of the important things is that sharing that information with the community, and I think we all need to leverage the partners that we do have to get the word out that, hey, we were doing very well for a while, but the trend is starting to go in the opposite direction. So part of it is communicating the message that there's more work to do, but then an even larger part of it, or an extension of that, is making sure we're reaching out to non-traditional partners and making sure we're engaging those non-traditional partners to turn around the unfortunate trends that we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. And how critical is it? I mean, this is one of the leading causes of death in the U.S. How critical is it that we work together on it?
Well, it's not just the leading cause of death in the U.S., but it's the leading cause of death in my own family. I have a father who's passed away from, a grandfather who's passed away from stroke. My father has had a heart attack. My mother has cardiovascular disease. We've got diabetes in my family, which again is a risk factor for both cardiovascular disease and stroke. So it's very personal to me that we turn around these unfortunate trends. It's important to my family. I obviously have genetics in my family that predispose both me and my children to succumbing to cardiovascular disease and stroke. But the good news is that with the right people together, with groups such as the National Forum, we can make a difference, especially if we start to reach out beyond our traditional silos into these new partners that we've been discussing today at the meeting.
That is wonderful. Being able to work together part, and I think that you are just a wonderful role model to be able to set that example. Thank you for being here. Are there any other, I guess, any big takeaways from being able to be a part of the National Forum meeting?
Well, again, I'm really excited that we've got mayors here, that we've got researchers here, that we've got a whole spectrum of folks that are from different parts of the community. We have the business community here, all coming together to talk about the burden that that cardiovascular disease and stroke are on their communities, but also talking about ways that we can partner to prevent. As the United States Surgeon General, I want to move as far upstream as possible. And while I'm deeply concerned about stroke and cardiovascular disease, I want us to focus on the risk factors for stroke and cardiovascular disease, such as smoking, such as obesity, such as undiagnosed and untreated or undertreated hypertension. And I want to show those other partners how addressing those risk factors will not only help us lower our stroke rates and our cardiovascular disease rates, but they will lead to a more prosperous and economically viable community. They will lead to better educational outcomes. They will lead to again, a healthier overall community that can prosper.
Great, great. Well, we are so lucky to have you in your position, helping us spread this important message.
Well, I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.